Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Cygnet Oval. It is the big clash between Lauderdale and Southern Storm in the under-16 division of the STJFL, the biggest footy comp in the state. It's Andrew Silver Fox Hopwood in the main commentary tower, joined by my co-commentator Martin Duffy. Duff, this is just looking resplendent out there, isn't it? Absolute picture.
Yeah, absolute picture, Hoppy. Beautiful day now. It was quite cool and windy early on, but the wind's dropped. The sun is out. It's about 16 degrees here at the home of footy in the Huon Valley.
Yes, we had a lovely trip down. We popped off at Bennett's Petroleum and topped up the fuel there, Duff. Had a nice feed at Mood Food after picking up our car from the Jackson Motor Company, and we headed straight down the highway, and we're really thrilled to be here. And some of our partners we're working with, Duff, the Bendigo Back, they're working for you and the community, and Huon Valley Financial Services. But the thing I like about that, Duff, we're here working hard for footy, but Johnny Sinnott, he is out now working hard for our money. We say hats off to you. It's the Huon Delivery Service. They do a great job. DL and KL Gordon Earth Moving Cartage, Duggan's Proprietary Limited, Precast Quarry Earthworks Ready Mix, and Mitchell Plastic Welding. We thank them very much for their help and services as the game now gets underway, and we're really looking forward to it as the ball goes forward for the Storm and Sammy Voss picks that up. Goes on to his incorrect side, just his left side. That's a beautiful long kick, and they have the ascendancy already. They're going in pretty hard. It was Walder at the bottom of the pack. Fiercely contested ball there, and the umpire will come and ball that one in. There's a good crowd gathering here, Duff.
Yeah, good crowd of cars right around the outside of the ground, Hoppy. Big match. Of course, we've got last year's premiers in the under-16s, the under-16B, I think it might have been. Lauderdale out there today up against the Storm boys. Should be a good match. And what can you tell us about the Lauderdale boys there, Hoppy? Yeah,
there's been a few personnel changes there, Duff, and thank you for that, in that one or two of the lads are probably going further in their footy, playing in the 18 and also because of that state program, so they might play in the development league. But these boys here will represent their community well. These are all of the under-16 variety. No overages here, Duff. And the Storm, though, they'd like their chances today on their home turf.
That's right. Of course, the Storm representing, I do believe, I think it might be Huonville, Cygnet itself, of course, and the Commandy area, which is a great thing that those clubs have come together and made a team available for the boys to play in. There's nice delivery by the Bombers, nice hit up there.
Yeah, it certainly was. That was Hurst, who saw Connor French on a very good lead. I love the deft touch there. He just put it to advantage as we watch here on replay. He gave his forward every opportunity, and a fullback cannot defend that one. There is no doubt about that. And a lovely kick. So first opportunity goes to the visitors. Long, raking kick. And that is as true as you would want to see there, Duff. Beautifully kicked there by Connor French. And already with that quick inside 50, they've got the reward. As we see here on replay, they were just sort of slowing that ball up, linking it up nicely, and two good leads, which augurs well. Look at the space created here, Duff. That was a really good thing. You saw there that the forwards tried to keep that open space for Connor French to lead into, and I think that's going to be a feature of the play that Storm will have to watch. I'd like to see maybe one of their midfielders or probably one of their spare defenders just go and fill that space for the forwards to run into, Duff.
What I like there, though, Hoppy, was the kick. Straight over the pack. It had to be pinpointed, it was. So great footy there by the Bombers.
Certainly was, as Burton takes advantage of that loose ball, puts the Storm, but it's come back with interest as that one's just bludgeoned out to the wing there for the Lauderdale boys. Going forward, and that's where you got to play in front. Every good forward, one of those mongrel kicks that just stops or gets kicked off like that, you got to stay in front, and that's a very, very nice and strong mark by Jonty Fay. That was a power mark there, Duff, wasn't he? He just extended his body in front, just sort of put his backside out, Jonathan Brown-esque, and extended the Dukes up.
Well, he's wearing the number 16, which I think Brown did wear.
Absolutely.
And he actually looks like Jonathan Brown as he comes in. He's just put that across the face.
Yeah, one behind. But that I really like that forward thrust. A little bit different than the Lauderdale one. They created a little bit more space. That was more old-fashioned, just power play from let's get it down to our big man in there, Fay, and he did the rest. Of course, there is that new rule where we're not using the 10-metre square. It's you just run past it and play on and get that ball out as far as you can. Lauderdale take the opportunity to pick that ball up. Fast moving one at the moment. Now the Storm didn't flick that one too far, and it's intercepted by Lauderdale, getting it back out towards the half-back flank. Going nicely there was Elijah Cohen. He can't take it in. He's got plenty of support. Oh, big tackle there. That was Glinda, and he has kept that one in. Nice defensive work there by the on-baller Duff.
Yeah, very important. Right with his man.
He's normally pretty good on the tackle, isn't he?
Not giving an inch.
Yeah, we've watched a lot of the footy, and as we can see, another feature here, Duff. I know back in the day you loved your locks. Plenty of headbands going around in this caper today.
Oh, it seems to be a trend down there at Lauderdale, as there's another nice pass coming forward by the Bombers.
It certainly was. Again, playing in front, and Dargan has taken advantage. You can just see here, that ball comes back, and it's a nice raking kick. That was put out to good space there. And Dargan will go back and have a look at putting that one through.
Now, what do you know about this boy, Hoppy?
Yeah, I know. He has a pretty unusual... I think this is the young fella. He goes a bit of a step to the side. Normally pretty good on the left side. You can see him there. There it is. And he goes for the kick. I think that one's slide out to the side. I'm not a big fan of that. I'd like to just see you go back and run straight through, Duff. How do you see that?
Well, I just don't know.
Whatever works.
Well, whatever works, I guess. But where do you think he gets that from? Where did he get it? Does somebody come up to him and say, look, try this?
Well, I can only go back to my early tennis days, Duff. Before my time, I was a double-handed backhander, and my old coach, Rod Harvey Latham, he tried and tried to get me the single-handed, and by the time he just perfected that, there was a guy on the called Bjorn Borg who came out and won Wimbledon, and they started teaching kiddies the double-handed. Yeah. But let's get back to the footy. It comes out very wide here towards Ryan, who screws that back. So what I'm saying is sometimes it's not a great thing to coach, but in that, it's very hard to get that consistency each time. I would suggest we've got to get that out of his game.
I would say so too, yeah.
Absolutely. So now the Storm come back to that half-back flank. There's the numbers there, front and centre. Nicely picked up, well worked as the handball comes out. It was Kilpatrick fighting pretty hard in there. Good tackle by him, and now he just pushes that one right up towards the centre of the ground. Nicely worked as they go forward, half-forward flank. Got the numbers here, the Dale. Trying to pick it up, going back and working hard there was Rackett. And the umpire has said he was held without the ball. And that goes against young Willie Hardy.
Yep.
And that was a good call, wasn't he?
A little bit technical, but it was there.
If it's there, Duff, you don't mind that if the consistency comes through all day as they're trying to get... That's Glendar again. Maybe didn't quite dispose of that one correctly. The umpire's on the blind side. As far as he's concerned, he tried his darndest to get that ball out. And so it will be a ball up pretty much in front of the commentary position. We're up above the Bendigo Bank Tower here, Duff, and what a great view we've got.
Oh, it's great down here at Cygnet. Good spot right on the wing as the umpire lets that one go, gets a boot to it. But no, it's a good spot here at Cygnet. We've got the sun behind us. And like I said, a little bit windy earlier on, but it's very still now, so it should be fine conditions for footy as the boys are just coming in to say good day here.
Yes, what can happen? A bit of testosterone when you get to this age group. Couple going on with it. We don't really want to see that. I think that might be Winter and Clark. I think a bit of push and shove, and it's going to... It might be getting the book out here, Duff, I think. Maybe young Winter's been put in the book for striking.
Well, I think young Clark needs to settle down for mine, but umpiring...
Is it Clark or Winter? I'm not quite sure. It's the both boys were pushing and shoving.
I think they were both a bit silly there, and they've both been sent off, have they?
We'll just wait for it now. Just waiting for it to settle down. But just what about when we came into the town today, Duff? All the black swans that were just in the bay. Just a flotilla of them. It was just beautiful, wasn't it?
You're talking about the...
as we came into Cygnet.
The picturesque surroundings of Cygnet.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful spot. Yeah, we came the long way, didn't we?
Yeah, we came around that way, and I was telling you that story about... that was the spot that I did my first swim in my very, very first triathlon, Duff, was here at the Cygnet International Triathlon. All those years ago, it was in its infancy then, and we had... somewhat about 43 international guests came in for that triathlon. It was a little bit out of the box then. Of course, that's gone on to be a very, very big sport. And there's plenty happening down at Cygnet. Good restaurants. It's a great place to come and visit as Lauderdale now go forward. Another good foray. It goes further out. That leading player, it was very dangerous there in Dargan as he goes for that step around. And they've got to really watch that one, Duff, don't they? That delivery wasn't quite as good.
Do you think that's out in the full or a point?
Oh, that was dead set. Oh, what's happened? He's gotten the point. We might have another look at that one, Duff, could we?
I think we might just... Here we go.
We're going to have a look here. He picks it up. I think that's about 2.5 metres wide of the post and through for the minor score.
Well, the full back saying it was out in the full.
I'm not sure.
Correct decision. No. The umpires are bringing this one back.
The umpires most insistent, Duff, that one went through the points. Maybe it's the angle that we're in the Bendigo Bank / Huon Valley Financial Services Tower that has just got us skewed. So
yeah, the point
I reckon that's what it is.
Or maybe we should have boundary umpires in the STJFL and the under-16s. Wouldn't that be wonderful, Andrew?
Yeah, so obviously it was an angle that wasn't great for us, but that was Walters who goes in. I think he's held, and that was without the onion. Gee, that was desperation stakes, as we see here, and absolutely didn't get rid of that ball. The disposal was straight onto the carpet, and very unfortunately for the Storm there, it's resulting to Luke Hodonitsky. Hodonitsky comes in. You'd back him from there, Duff. I think the umpire had no trouble in seeing that one. Went straight over the top of the bonce and through for a very nice goal. And that's the second for Lauderdale. They are 2-3-15. Connor French and Luke Hodoninsky. As we can see here, it was a bit unfortunate. The fullback almost stubbed the toe there, put the back pocket under inordinate amounts of pressure. Unfortunately there by Caney Walters, and he was pinned. And Hodoninsky, and that's a feature of your modern football there, Duff, is your forwards. Don't they come in and hunt and try and keep the ball inside their forward 50?
Yeah, it was just very ugly for the Storm, wasn't it? Very, very ugly.
So it's pretty even around the ground, Duff, but they just look cleaner when they go inside 50, do the visiting team.
Yeah, a little bit more slippery in the clinches, I think. Yes. And you're right, their delivery into the forward line's been exceptional.
So we're 10.5 minutes gone into this first quarter. We're set for, of course, the 4 20-minute quarters in the under-16 division. That's a very strong tackle by Elijah Cohen. He's just got into the back there of Richardson. Richardson with a nice kick further afield, playing from behind. You can't take it from there. That's a fantastic smother there by young, that might be Eric Lovell, Duff. I think young Eckers goes out towards that half-back flank, and it's gone out of bounds.
All those 1% is very important, aren't they? There it was. They were away again there, the Dale, but it was a good smother, like you said, Hoppy. But we'll come back to that point of mine I made earlier on about having boundary umpires in STJFL footy. You just call this next moment, though, Andrew.
Oh, we certainly will, as it is in the forward half for Lauderdale. They're fighting very hard. That was Donahoe, who can't quite bring it in. It goes up into that open space. This is what forwards like. If it can go to that open territory, needs some clean hands to pick it up. Into the back and over the top, you take your pick. But it is going to be a Storm kick. Oh, I think there's been some confusion.
Yeah, it's going to number 30 here. That's Elliot Shaw. No, 35, is it? Richardson.
I apologise, Duff. I thought that was going to go the other way. Again, we do have a bit of sun in our eyes here, Duff. We can see here he...
Gee, that looked in the back.
No, I'm afraid I can't work that one out.
No.
I've got a bit of sun in my eye, I must admit, and the umpires are always right, Duff.
Oh, he's right.
I just didn't quite see it in that manner. But anyway, I'm sure he'll work it out. As ball comes further afield, that's young Fergus Kenny. Of course, he was one of the dual medalists in the best and fairest last year in the Beakley medal. As that one's kicked, and it has gone high, wide, and not quite so handsome.
Okay.
And the Southern Storm will relieve through Eric Lovell.
So my point of having boundary umpires, we've got a lot of dads, a lot of mums that could actually run the boundary in the under-16s and just give the boys that experience of having the ball thrown in. When there's a boundary throw in, I'm looking down below me. There's a couple of really fit roosters. We've got Trent Cohen just below us.
Yes.
We've got young Matthew Brereton. A couple of fit boys. Could still surely put the shorts on, the runners, and run the boundary for these under-16 matches, Andrew.
Well, it is something, Martin, that you've have been talking about for some years, and I think it's up to you to get that moving again. Okay, so the ball goes in, and we'll talk about that at the quarter-time break, because it is 13.5 minutes gone. The Bombers 2 goals, 3-15. Southern Storm 1 behind. But it has been pretty level around the ground though, Duff.
It has, although the Storm have only been forward once or twice in the quarter, and not quite looking as slippery as the Bombers at the moment, but their defence is holding up very well.
Absolutely, as that one's just piled out towards that wing position. Storm have the ascendancy. They just need that clean hands. There's something that everyone can work on, Duff. All the kiddies who are watching out there from Oz Kick up, if you just get that ball and throw it against the wall and continually pick it up below your knees. It is the one thing incrementally as you go up into the AFL that they do so well. It's the simple things, isn't it, Duff, that you can really assist your footy. Clean grape, as we can see here, really fighting hard there was Brady Gregory, but unfortunately he was beset upon.
He just needed to bring the arms up there, Hoppy.
Just bring them up and get the onion out. As soon as you see someone coming up, high hands and get rid of the onion. There's no doubt about that. Spilt that one on that particular occasion was Tommy Martin, who made really good position under enormous pressure, and the Storm have just taken that one through for the minor score.
2-4-16 to the Storm, one behind. That makes you wonder how long they can actually weather the Storm here.
Indeed, it is, Duff. That was a great leap there by Jonty Fay, but he couldn't quite hold that one. The umpire has blown the whistle. You can see here that's a wonderful leap, but just couldn't quite hold it in. He might have held on to Theo Rackett there, and I think we can see on the Mood Food replay, in fact, it is coming back to Rackett for that free kick, Duff. Held without the ball. Very,
very lucky not to give away a 50-metre penalty there were the Storm. And inside 50s at the moment are 9-3 at the moment in favour of Lauderdale.
Oh, we've just got all the stats here at Duff TV, bringing you the biggest competition in Tasmania of the football code. It's growing all the time, Duff, and we are thrilled to be bringing you all the highlights here at the Storm ground. It's Southern Storm under 16, Lauderdale under 16. Ball goes forward. It's pretty tough inside there and held, and it's holding the ball, and that's a terrific tackle there by Jackie McQueen. He goes inboard. That's goes out towards Sam Voss, and Voss has been paid the mark. He just put up the left duke and he's got it. He looks very creative player, Duff, does Voss.
Yeah, he's got a bit of spunk about himself, hasn't he? It was a good mark there, but a great intercept by the Bombers.
Gee whiz, Fergus Kenny. Now you can see why he's the medalist, Duff, from last year. He went where a lot of people would have got short footsteps, but he continued to go in. There was a man coming at him, and he held his nerve, kept his eye on the footy, and took a very, very courageous mark, did Kenny. So the ball comes in now. The Storm have got a really nice opportunity through the agency of Denny. Noah Denny drives it towards the leading forward, and it's plucked out there by Walter. Walter goes back towards the goals, and it's just gone across and through for the minor score, but that was much better from the Storm. Although I'd like to see this lead right here, Duff, to try and open up some space more towards the corridor, because that's a pretty tough pocket from there to score goals.
Yeah, it is, but there's nobody to kick it back into there, Hoppy.
Yep.
I would have gone for goal myself.
Yeah, well, when you have the talent like your very good self, Duff, who can just caress the ball over a 50-metre period, I mean, you want the ball in a bloke like yours hands.
Yeah.
These kiddies are still working on their craft, as running into the open goal, Jonty Fay, and inadvertently he's just hooked that one to the left. That was a golden opportunity for the Storm to get on the board, Duff. Have a look at him here. He picks it up beautifully. Love the acceleration. And then he's hooked the kick. Through for the minor score. But a very, very bit of nice play here by the Storm as that ball was kicked in back towards Fay. And redemption is his as he's slotted through the first goal there, Duff, for the Storm. That's a crackerjack, and it's got the big crowd here. The cars are honking. And it is the Storm on the way back. It is brewing all right. What are they, Duff? 139 to Lauderdale. What are they there, Duff? 2-3-15.
Oh, just what the game needed, wasn't it?
Just have to check on that scoreboard there, Duff. Is it?
I've got it wrong, have I? Sorry.
That's all right. We just put that plug in there, Duff, and we can link up direct to the scoreboard, so it'll all come right.
Wouldn't it?
Yep, there it is. So it's really tightening up here, and that was a very, very nice goal there by Jonty Fay. I reckon it was still bothering him, that one he missed, Duff, but didn't he recover so brilliantly to put that first major on the board as out they came. It was Kilpatrick in front. Very nice defensive work by him. Back towards the centre-half back position for the Storm inadvertently. Spills that one. Here's Kenny. I love the way when he gets the ball, he just accelerates quickly, Duff. And that's the sign of a good player, where I'm concerned.
Well, a lot of these boys at this age, like you said, they're growing into young men at this age. And they train hard, they're fit. And they're told to play like men at this age, Hoppy.
Yeah.
And we see it come out. It's wonderful.
The interesting thing is, Duff, at under 16, give them a couple of years and some of these boys are going to be playing senior football at the highest level in Tasmania.
That's right.
It doesn't look like it, but you wait. You'll see some of these names.
Oh, and here's one boy that impresses me.
Absolutely. Duggan, hasn't he looked dangerous? Every time he's near the ball, he's a good size lad as well. And when he let out there was nice players. The ball came out. There was Hodoninsky. He got it forward. Look at that in between traffic. Unfortunately, Tommy Martin was caught behind there, and I think he's just really going to have to play him in front, Duff. I'd like to see him maybe a metre in front, just keep that left arm on him so he can cut off those leads.
It's hard work for a defender when the ball comes in like that.
Yeah, so that's why I think he maybe needs to take that forward position. Anyway, because he's got a good leap as well. Here is that unorthodox run-up. Normally his kick goes from left to right, but he has sized through that one and put it through for a very nice goal, and that's the answer as the siren has gone. And Lauderdale very, very nicely with their 3 goals. That's 3 goals, 3, 21 to the Storm, 1 goal, 3, 9. And unfortunately, that one from Young Fay just didn't quite go through. So very, very tight game here so far, Duff.
Yeah, no, good game of footy. But disappointing there for the Storm because they got themselves right back into it on the scoreboard. But right at the end there, Lauderdale just kick away with another goal. And I think that's pretty right, pretty spot on. 21-9 is a true indication of the state of this match at the moment.
The other thing I noticed just a few minutes ago, Duff, I just saw scurrying back into the club rooms was young Johnny Sinnott. And apparently he was just getting his laptop out just to keep an eye on the money that he's looking after. And that's the sort of financial service that you need. And you can get it all from Huon Valley Financial Service and Bendigo Bank. He works 24/7, Duff.
Oh, it doesn't stop.
A lot of people have a break, but not him. And so if you need something to do with finance, I'd go and see him at Bendigo Bank and the Huon Valley Financial Services, as that ball has gone underneath that pack. And there'll be another ball up. A couple of good-looking mullets out there too, Duff.
Yeah, we've got the mullets, we've got the headbands.
You've got your mullets, got your headbands. It's anything goes these days, Duff.
And of course the umpires out there, we should give them a rap, and especially this young fella here, right on screen right there. You've noticed him a couple of times over the years and got good poise about himself as a young umpire.
Very calm, and we really need to certainly encourage the junior ranks, and I've liked the way he goes about it. Doesn't seem to get flustered, Duff. He makes this decision, gets on with it, and 9 times out of 10, he's a pretty damn good decision. Absolutely. So I think that's young Elliot Shaw who goes in. Can't quite make the distance as Kilpatrick. He goes further out, goes towards the half wall. It's Glinda. He goes the Submariner type kick there. We'll say, give him the benefit of the doubt that was what he was after, as Lauderdale have the numbers. Oh, a quick flick over the back there, the Hodoninsky, and he goes as far as the Storm. They pick it up now, go the handball, trying to bring some of their teammates in, as Ambrose Brereton is there to assist. Really dodging, evading his Holbrook. Goes back into the, excuse me, the forward pocket, bouncing end over end. That was Hurst. Gets that handball out. Go the check side there. That was Dargan, but through for the minor score.
Another promising build up there by the Bombers. They look very, very, very good when they go forward, and they've got the tall timber down there. He is a very good player, isn't he, the 47, Dargan?
Yeah, he is, and it looks like Coach Walsh has gone probably more for that traditional lineup, Duff, of going for the talls in those key positions. Of course, Walsh is the senior captain down there at Lauderdale, and best and fairest, I think 3-time best and fairest at the age of 24, and represented the state multiple times. And so I'm sure his influence in his first time foray into the coaching caper will really rub off in a positive manner on these young men from Lauderdale.
Oh, nice tackle there. This is being played at a very, very frenetic pace, and it's a hard match, isn't it, out there? But you're right on Brycey Walsh. Of course, played his 150th game just yesterday for the Lauderdale senior side.
Certainly did, and here's a break. And just trying to move that ball quickly. Unfortunately, didn't get the eyes up and go to the correct position, as Campbell Newman was very evasive. But in his kick, a Storm are able to just settle back and take that kick. Dangerous when it goes inboard, looking for Hickey. He can't take it. So just pushing that one forward was Martin again. Up they go. That was Noah Denny who got the front position. Can't come down with the ball there was Connor Woolley, but he's trying to push that forward. He's a no-nonsense sort of player, Woolley. He's normally runs only in straight lines, and the umpire has no hesitation to think that ball won't come out.
Here's a good rule change. The slight hands in the back is back, and I think that's been a good one from the AFL. You can sort of very carefully nudge your opponent in the back.
I think in that one there, wasn't it, Duff, in the process of going for the ball, if you actually said the hands as such, but if it's in the attempt to go for the mark, I think that's quite right. As you point out, it should be paid. So we can see the Storm really fighting hard as Jonty Fay is trying to lift him, but I think the ball had came out. He didn't see that on the blind side. So Howarth has been awarded the holding the man rule. Nothing much particularly on, so he's decided to go for one of the big men. If you can't take the mark, you've got to bring it to ground. That was where Donahoe was there. It was maybe taken that little bit too high. And Fergus Kenny, you can see here, will go back and have a shot on goal. No, he's gone the short pass, and why wouldn't you there, Duff? They're really moving well, the forward line. Excuse me. What they tend to do with those tick passes, those tick leads, Duff, where they're taking their defender out, quickly running back to the goal line, so then the defender is running back to the goal, and they're turning around very quickly to open space, and that was nicely done by Dargan.
Is it an imposing figure up there for Lauderdale?
Yes, he is. So Dargan, Kilpatrick certainly got his hands full. That one's gone a little bit from right to left. That's an interesting kick compared to the other ones, Duff, who've all gone from right to left. That one's gone from left to right.
Now watch this.
This is where you want to see.
You've got to ask yourself what it's all about.
Reminds me of the Olympics in the dressage.
It's crazy.
Yep, you've got that horse sort of lifting the hooves up a little bit there, and I think if we can just get that so it's just a nice, simple, direct run, keep the shoulders square with the goals, hands low, that's what we need to do.
What's he got? One goal, two, I think?
Yeah, I've just got the goals in front of me, Duff, but he certainly got one as Hodaninsky comes out with the ball. He actually stole that one like a thief in the night, but that's a terrific mark there by Eric Lovell. And Lovell's been a very good player, Duff, down back.
Yeah, young Lovell. You think it's Eric?
Oh, he's got the Erics about him.
Is there any other name that starts with E other than Eric?
Eugene. Oh, he's just got the Eric. He's got
the Erics about him.
Yes, no doubt about that. Really pushing hard is Bluey Hickey, who comes back in ball. That's a nice pass to Walters. And that was dangerous, but really fantastic play by the Storm. But Hodaninsky, I like his vertical leap, Duff.
Yeah, he's got some jump about him.
He certainly has. Comes again towards Kenny, who just racks up possession after possession. And here he is again.
Oh, slippery.
Over to Woolley. Woolley. Long kick.
Nice.
Oh, chipping in there. Daniel Richardson on that particular occasion didn't see behind the big power forward coming out. He had every right to have a crack at that one, though, as the Storm go towards that wing position. And they've just got the numbers at the moment, have the Bombers, and a nice mark has been taken there, Duff, by Campbell Newman.
Just can't seem to get it past the halfway mark. There's another build-up here by the Bombers, Hop.
It's a lot of pressure is being applied. You can see picking that one up on the ground, and it has gone through there, Duff. I'm not sure if we see on replay whether that Dargan got it across the line or it was just kicked. I think we can see from who's getting the rewards from his players. I like that quick play, Duff. It created the space here. It might have been Oldham who eventually, yep, it was. Oldham just got the The easiest of goals there, Duff. And I tell you what, he's got the old board shorts on. I reckon when he finished that, he's going straight down to the surf. He's got the Eddie Betts on.
He's also got a bit of the Duff gut happening out the front there. Needs to work on that, the young fella.
So, nice goal there by Christopher Oldham.
I can make those comments. There's big boys, these boys.
Some there. Oh, that's a great move. Cameron Walter came streaming out on a beautiful lead, and excellent work by the Storm, but couldn't bring it up as Jack McQueen takes clean possession. Now there's a chance for Storm as it goes into that forward line of the end. They got the numbers at the fall of the ball. Lauderdale now getting across with a very, very slick handball. Woolley overruns it. He's assisted by Hodoninsky. Only goes as far as Clark. Clark gets it back inboard. Nice, strong work there by Jonty Fay. Comes in, but Lauderdale are there with the numbers to mop that one up.
They seem to be running out of ideas going forward, the Storm.
Yep. Well, the thing that I like, they're been really good, say, across half forward with strong players like your Jonty Fay, but it's just that kick coming into the forward line has really broken them down, Duff. And here it is again, so it's going to be a reasonably deep entry, and that's a lovely, lovely lead. And I must admit, Cameron Walter has given a few good leads, Duff, and that particular time it has come off. So now he's going to go back and have a shot on goal. I think that was young Francis who was on the mark, young Tommy Francis. And that ball has gone out wide and through for the minor score. So he's an interesting young fella too, he's young Tommy Francis. Of course, he's an under-14 boy, Duff. He was their best and fairest in the 13s last year, and he's come up a couple of divisions.
Former state player, is that right?
Still state playing, Duff, and extended himself a little bit, and it's going to be interesting to see how he handles it. He looks like he's just, acclimatising well to the bigger body stuff.
Yeah, no, that says something about his true talent that he's got out there. Very gutsy player.
No doubt about that. Woolley, talking of gutsy players, no nonsense, picking it up. You can see him just arch his back, and that was terrific play by Woolley here at the 10-minute mark at the Cygnet Oval. It's the Southern Storm versus Lauderdale in the STJFL game of the day, and we hope you're enjoying the coverage. It's been a high-calibre game. Picking that ball up was Winter. Going further forward now. They've got the numbers. They want to be careful now. Pick that ball up and let's get it out of there as they do so. Tommy Martin just pushes it further afield, looking for Jack McQueen. McQueen, he's working hard. He's going to be beset upon by Elliot Shaw. All these young Shaws have got a good engine.
There's a few Shaws down at Lauderdale, isn't there? What have we got?
There's only one Shaw down there.
Only one Shaw.
Yep, that's the foreshore just in front of the oval, Duff. Ball now on that wing position. Lovely kick. That was Elijah Cohen trying to pick that one up. And he turns around and Oscar Thorpe taken that mark. Of course, back to the Shaws, talking of Oscars. Oscar Shaw, of course, he played senior football last year and he got the call up to the Devils. So he's playing state football this year.
Wow.
Yes.
Certainly do churn them out down to Lauderdale, the state players.
Yeah, no doubt about that. But so, ball on half-back.
Oh, turnover there.
Dad Greg Shaw is a very, very gifted runner and plays in the veterans comp as well for Lauderdale. So, yeah, no doubt about you, Duff. There certainly is plenty of Shaws. That ball came in, trying to fight very, very hard of the Storm there for the ball. Could have been held slightly without that. Now that, that's one's probably a little bit too high. And the umpire is going to call, I think, for a ball up, Duff.
I like the umpiring here, Hoppy.
Well, that's play on decision.
Yep, play on decision.
No doubt about that. He's got the kick out, so we're pretty happy with that one. Maybe the ball might have been a slight out of position. It was knocked out, so let's just play it on. So now, if we're back to live play, Lauderdale take the advantage.
I just like those 50-50 ones to be played on. Could have been maybe a free kick to the Storm, but who'd be an umpire? And I tell you what, if you're in doubt umps, just play it on. So hats off to the umpires.
Yeah, good kick by Delaney, finding out French. French doesn't muck around. Big, long raking kick out into that wing position where Hodoninsky picks it up. Just a bumbling, fumbling type of kick.
Oh, gee.
I think that was Dargan who got in the back, we can see here.
Must have been a trip.
Yep. And the umpire saw that one, and it's gone out towards Walters.
It seems to be a real pivotal part of the match at the moment. We're 13 minutes nearly into the second quarter, 20 points down. The next goal, if it's to the Storm, they're right back into it. But if it's a Lauderdale goal, it's going to make it very difficult.
Yeah, Duff, I mean, you've seen a lot of football in your day, and you've just sized it up beautifully there. It's just on the tipping point. There is no doubt about that. Can the Storm bring that one back? And I tell you what, it'll make everyone grow taller. It'll bring the crowd in. But if the Bombers can get that one, it can similarly just silence them, Duff. And that's is exactly what they need. They need that fillip from a goal. They've got to get in front, though, Duff, as that was a good kick to the advantage. And young Denny was caught behind slightly. He's been good so far, but he's just got to correct that part of his game. Goes out towards centre-half back. Courageous kick there. They were outnumbered, but they've taken it. So the Storm now, they've got 3 on the 1, but it's come back well played by Lauderdale, and it was Kenny. Gets a further handball out towards Rackett. Overruns it on that one. Tries the don't argue there. Was Connor Woolley. Goes back inside to Kenny and really did a nice job. So Winter, he tries to spread that ball further afield, and he finds Howworth.
Of course, Winter is related to the senior coach of the Lauderdale Bombers, correct?
Yep, direct bloodline there, Duff. Son of.
Son of, right.
So Storm really battling hard. Terrific work there by, that was, I think, Eric Lovell. Pushes it outward. I like the way Lovell goes about it, Duff. He gets his head down. He reminds me of Big Cruiser for Carlton. Look at him, he's down and he's down, and he's really determined, you can see on his face, isn't he?
He
the
is,
sort of fella you're going to battle with.
I was going to say, he's the sort of player you really want to play with all the time.
Yep. Ball coming further afield. That was Cohen who tries to pick that one up. Now it's coming out now. Another handball. Lauderdale have that opportunity through Connor French. Back to that half-back flank. Over the ball was Hickey. Well done by Hickey. Gets it back towards Lovell, and Lovell goes that short kick, and great dukes there by Brereton. Gee, that was nice played up.
Yeah, good play there by young Brereton. He's away here.
There's a really good chance to go up. That was Kilpatrick who put the dukes out and couldn't quite get it. Goes back inside, but look at the great tackle. He puts him down. So Francis gets it, and he doesn't see anyone in front. He says, let's get it out of here, and it's coming down into that forward line.
It's come up a notch here,
streaming out of defence was Townsend. What about that play, Duff? Absolutely gazelle style out of defence.
They just need to score a goal. They're working really hard here, the Storm.
They are, and it's a battle between those two half-back flanks. A couple of really good possessions by Francis down one way, and similarly with the Storm. So it's between those defensive lines. As the Storm are over the ball, I think there might be a little bit of in the back, and it might be a kick goes towards Delaney. So we're at nearly 16-minute mark, about 4 minutes to go, Duff, and there is no doubt about it. That next goal is so crucial to this match.
Definitely going into half-time here. You'd love to see the Storm get a goal. They've worked very hard in the second quarter. It's been a pretty low-scoring match, really.
Yeah, it has. As Connor French has let out, taken that, handballed over towards Newman. Newman goes towards the goals, and that one is out of bounds. And just behind the tower here, Duff.
I'll just point out something, though.
Yes,
what we don't want to see is pedestrians. And young number 3, Travis Hickey, caught napping there, Hoppy. Caught napping.
Gee, that's why you're the special comment.
Well, you know,
you can't pull the wool over your eyes, Duff.
I've seen a lot of footy, Hoppy. Yep. He's a good player, Hickey. Don't get me wrong. But you can't go to sleep in a game of football.
That ball's gone out of bounds. And I don't know if you can hear in the effects microphone just the whirring of diesel engines. And that's the earth-moving equipment of DL and KL Gordon. I noticed they had a bit of... the earthworks was brought in by Duggan's Proprietary Limited, and they're just going to do a bit of that work in the back road there, Duff, just to smooth it out for the customers as they go out of this ground. Of course, it gets a real working because of the big crowds that come in here. So it's great to see Duggan's Proprietary Limited and DL and KL Gordon getting together and making this oval great.
And talking of big matches coming up, isn't Barry Hall coming down here to play for Cygnet, I think against Huonville, in about 6 weeks' time? What a day that'll be.
It'll be a great day there, Duff.
Let's get Duff TV along to that one, please.
Absolutely.
The great Barry Hall.
We'd love to be down here and filming that one and bringing to you live.
And later on they'll have a boxing tent set up out the back. and all the local boys can come up and they can actually, you know, hop in, see what they're made of, take on Barry.
Well,
It's, you know, a bit of football, a bit of boxing.
Do their best as that ball then comes out towards Innes. They've got to hold firm here to the Storm. They don't want to give up a goal. There is no doubt about that. And they are really fighting hard, the Bombers. That one comes out. They've got to be careful as they go up, and that's a cracker of a mark by Ryan Clark. He blaze on quickly, and it's nice open spaces out here towards Kilpatrick. Doesn't quite make it that far. Now there's an opportunity for the big man to come in and put a bit of a shepherd on for McQueen, who comes down there, getting it back towards centre half forward. But Lauderdale have all the answers across half-back, Duff.
Yeah, that was a great mark there and a real promising build-up. But again, it's the half-forward line of the Storm that's letting them down, Hoppy. But I think that the delivery sometimes of their on-ballers hasn't been great going forward.
So picking that one up was your mate, Hickey, and he was tackled. And much to the chagrin of the crowd that have gathered here at the Cygnet Oval, they weren't happy, but it was holding the ball. And don't the umpires love the old arms crossed and giving it the big one here, Duff? You see, he picked it up, did not dispose of it, and he said, you've got to get the handball out.
No prior.
Not a lot of prior, Duff.
Not a lot of prior.
I think that's what the crowd were asking. Was there any prior as it's ticking down towards half-time here at the Cygnet Oval? Well, the other thing too, Duff, there's just been a parcel delivered to us here, which was some much-needed equipment for the camera, and we'd like to say a big thank you to Hewen Delivery Services for bringing that parcel in. And so we'll be able to make running repairs on the camera courtesy of Hewen Delivery Service. So if you've got a parcel somewhere, Duff, it doesn't matter the size, they're the people to go to. Francis, under plenty of pressure. A very calm head there, Duff.
That's young Francis who kicked that.
Yep.
By golly, he's growing, Hoppy.
Yep.
He looks the real deal, young Francis, to me.
Yeah, no, he goes well. Back in towards the corridor. And it's really good too. His elder brother made his senior debut this year, Duff.
Did he?
Young Will.
Gee, they get them in early, don't they?
The Francis clan down there, young Nick and Dee, they are cock-a-hoot about the performance of their kiddies running around down there at the Bayside Oval, Duff.
Big Kilpatrick has got a free kick here, and he's delivered it beautifully down to the half-forward line, but just can't quite take those clinching marks at the right time in the full forward line. So
that was Sammy Voss who were let out as that siren has gone for half-time, Duff. And it is Lauderdale. Let's have a look here. They are 4-6. It's 4-7-31. 4-7-31 to Storm 1-4-10. Half-time here at the Cygnet Oval.
Now, what are your goal kickers there?
Yep, for the Lauderdale, they're all single stuff. It's Hodonitsky, French, Dargan and Oldham. And, of course, that breakaway, very, very swift goal was scored for the Southern Storm by Jonty Fay. So it's going to be interesting to see how they come back in this second quarter. We hope that you'll be joining us very, very quickly. We're going to take a quick break here, Duff, and we'll be back with the second half in just a few moments. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Cygnet Oval. Southern Storm versus Lauderdale. Very, very tight encounter. Lauderdale had the ascendancy. They look very dangerous going forward, but Southern Storm, if they can just break free, Duff, I reckon this could go any way.
They really stuck at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
My gut feeling is that Lauderdale probably has the edge in class, but I'm really, really impressed with the determination, especially the full back line and the half back line of the Storm. Let's just see, though, if they can come out of defence, be a little bit cleaner and get themselves back on the board and create some scoreboard pressure. Okay, really nice work in the ruck by Clark. Clark gets it out towards the leading for a player in Walters. Be interesting to see what positional changes you say there. I notice young Walters has gone to the half-forward flank. I like the way he goes hard at the ball, Duff, so that'll be probably good for the Storm. Umpire throwing it up. Crucial that they can just eke out that first goal. But Lauderdale showing good grace across that half-back line with a chain of handballs. Gets it back through the middle. Tucking the ball under the arm, but threw it away. Kevin Bartlett style there, Duff. A bit lucky was Howith to get away with that one. But the Storm playing in front, and I love to see a defender take it like that. It's that dogged defence of the Storm that's holding this team together at the moment.
Yep.
Now, that's better.
So Clark goes in towards the centre of play. Held on for a long time. Comes back towards Francis. Francis gets another handball afield. Comes out now towards Cohen. Cohen is beset upon by a very determined Francis, and the umpire will ball it up directly in the middle. You can see the centre circle right there in the screen. Nice tap out by Clark. He's being very influential in this third quarter. Goes over the top. Just a little bit flat-footed to the forward line at the moment, Duff, aren't they?
Yeah, a little bit. Just need to sort of try and get in the better position and just sort of try and keep it in there. Forward pressure is a big part of modern football.
Certainly is. Walters again, but Francis backing back and taking a very good march. He's reading the play well.
I've got tickets on this boy. He's got a big future, Hoppy. Seen him come up over the years, and he's grown about, I reckon, about nearly a foot in the last 18 months.
Certainly has. That's that good tucker that his mum Dee provides for him. As we can see, that was beset upon there, and Delaney might have been held. The umpire said he didn't have any prior. Of
course, Mickey Francis, his dad, very fit man. Although I haven't seen him at the All Aerobics gym for a little while.
No.
Where's he working out now?
Yeah, you see him on the streets.
Oh, he runs around, does he?
Oh, yeah, him and Dee are always on the track, Duff, but Dee is the one who's got the pedigree and the running caper.
Ah, okay.
Don't worry about that. So, ball comes out. Sammy Voss goes the lead, but nice interception there by Elliot Shaw. He can't pick it up. I think he's been held a little bit too long that time. Coming out was a little bit amorous was Oscar Wood, and free kick going there. Decides to centre the ball, comes back over towards Delaney. Delaney at the back of the pack, driving it towards the full forward line, and it's gone through for another minor score. So a brisk start into this third quarter. Championship quarter, it all hinges on that first goal. And the Storm would love to get that to get themselves back in the game, Duff.
Yeah, I think we may have been a point out there at half-time, but that score on the camera now is correct.
All right, so that was Shaw. Gets it out towards the leading Dargan. He can't bring that one in. Just sort of flipped it back on that particular occasion was Donahoe. Winter overruns the ball. Looks a bit like Darth Vader, Winter. I reckon he's got to get a new mouth guard, Duff. That one, well, it doesn't fit his face. He can't get it in. It's always at the front there, look. You can see it. I don't know how the young man can breathe. But anyway, ball comes back to the half-back flank. Good contest on that one. Handball's out towards Newman. And a lot of pleads for the ball. And it will be another ball up. Really close contest. If we can see here. What do you highlight here, Duff?
I was just looking into that shot of young Winter and the mouth guard. He sort of has it coming out of his mouth, doesn't he? Put it in, son. Put it in there.
If you get a bit of a knock on the old face there, Duff, it's not going to help you if it's hanging out the front.
I reckon his dad must have worn a mouth guard because he was a tough footballer.
Yeah, no nonsense sort of fella, straight through.
Straight through.
No doubt about that.
Out of my way, wasn't it?
Travis Hickey, good play by the Storm. Excellent tackling there by the Storm. That's the sort of thing that gives you a bit of momentum, Duff. Those one percenters.
Yep.
If you're not scoring, you want to see a hard tackle laid.
Now, the toughest footballers to play football in my time watching footy in Tasmania, I'd say Darren Winter, I'd say Matty Smith from New Norfolk, and I'd say your good self, Andrew. You were hard at it, weren't you?
Yeah, well, I was a bit unconventional, Duff. My position was called the car park. That's how wide I used to run, Duff. They call them wide receivers now. I tell you what, I was ahead of my time. So Lauderdale picked that up through the agency of Halbwith. It was pinged and nicely played there by the Storm as McQueen will take the free kick.
Gee, they're a dogged team, this Storm, aren't they?
They're beauties. I like them down here, Duff, as it comes out towards Clark. I think Coach Cowan would be pretty happy with how they're going about it, but it's just that last kick, as you pointed out before, Duff, into the forward line that is troubling them.
Yeah.
They're just a tad flat-footed as the ball comes in. So fighting really hard there was Jonty Fay, the man who really broke through and got a couple of shots on goal, and of course got that one is Kenny picks it up, goes the give and go towards Francis and does that very, very nicely.
Oh, he's got a touch of class, hasn't he? And here comes another good player for the Lauderdale team. I've liked his game today. What's the name of that boy there?
Was it Kenny, you mean?
I think it might have been. Yep.
Certainly was. It was Kenny. So now it is the Storm bits between half-back flank to half-back flank. Oh, they've got to pick it up now. Here's an opportunity, Duff, as it comes out towards Walder. Oh, and look at the tackle there by your man, Francis.
Yeah.
Just those sort of things really are fantastic, aren't they? As Woolley goes the handball to himself, he just fumbled it, but he was clever enough to go back and take that one up.
And here it is. Look at that. That's just a turn of speed by Francis, and that's what he's talked about as a, I don't know, I think, I don't want to say he's an AFL draftee chance, but I tell you what, he could just be on the agenda for that young fella. I'll call it now. There you go, Andrew. I've seen a lot of footy in my time. He's one of those. Definitely. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely, Duff. You've got a nose for your footballers. There's no doubt about that. But they've got a long way in front of them, and it's just great to seeing the kiddies playing to their full potential here, Duff.
Well, of course, we've got the Devils on the way. We've got the Devils under 18 side now. And now we've got the VFL side about 2 years away. I reckon young Francis will be eyeing that side off, definitely.
Yep, and as you say, try to go for further honours as Austin Hurst comes out. Can't pull in, but he's got plenty of support going out there. They've got some tall timber down forward. Hurst, flowing style of mullet there. And the umpire will do a bit of a ball up there, Dave.
Right there in front of the Bendigo Bank sign there. That's
proudly sponsoring down here football in the Hue, and it is the Bendigo Bank, Duff. They're working for you and the community, and that's what you like. You don't want to ring up and get some answering service from Indonesia or Afghanistan. You want to ring up and talk to someone, and you're going to get Johnny Sinnott. But back to the footy. That was a good snap there by Lauderdale, Duff, as we're going to have another look at that one. It was excellent play, and that is going to make it tough, as we can see. Comes out, bit of a handball over the top. Give and go, Duff. Isn't that clever? And I think that's Luke Hodoninsky with the give and go, and he slotted it through for him to be the first multiple goal scorer for the Lauderdale Bombers.
And I think that's the difference between the two sides right there, just in the clinches when it really needed to be executed skill-wise. They've done it again, the Bombers.
So it goes back in towards the centre of 37 to 10. So that margin is looking a little bit too dangerous at the moment. So can the Storm respond like a good team can? Well, they've had plenty of the ball, but here's where they're slightly breaking down just across that half forward. They need to get that one further afield as they're trying hard. Cameron, Walder, all those guys across there really trying. So I think Coach Cohen will be really happy with their efforts, Duff.
Oh, their intent across the field has been excellent. It's just this execution.
Oh, up they go. And that was Jonty Fay with a bit of a spring in his step as it goes towards the goal. And they've opened up their account for the third quarter, and it is a minor score. And as they move on to 1-5-11. Ball's back in Francis's hands. Just doing a little bit of pointing now. Goes further afield, that play on. What do you think of that rule, Duff?
Don't like it.
Oh, gee whiz.
No, I don't like it. I used to like the little kick you used to have to do, you know. I think congestion in STJFL footy is not really a problem, I don't think. And so, yeah, maybe for the AFL you need it, but not for this level of footy.
Oh, well.
But it is what it is, Andrew.
Well, that's great that you're doing that, Duff. And that little noise I can hear in the backdrop, that sounds like a bit of plastic welding going on. Just something going on down the back of us there, Duff. And, of course, doing some fine work with Mitchell Plastic Welding as well. We've got to thank everyone, and that's a great goal. We're going to have another look at this one, Duff. Gee whiz, the Storm have just surprised us with that build-up. It was just sort of going along from a nothing. That was a really good tap out there by Gregory. He flicked it further afield. That's a very, very tight angle, Duff. And I think the old Storm have been very accurate in their kicking and has put that one through. We'll just check on who that was in just a couple of minutes. But, gee, that was good play, Duff.
It was a goal that came from nowhere, wasn't it?
It really was. It was kind of a nothingness, if you like. Got the handball out and slotted that through. So we'll pick that up in just a few moments. But all we know is the Storm are certainly still in this game. And if they get this next one, they'll really be up and about down here at the Cygnet Oval. That is Glenarda who got that handball further afield. Pushing their way out. Calls of ball as Callum Dargan has moved upfield. And he was caught. And it was a lovely tackle by Cowan. Much bigger person on him, but he showed great courage to go and get that ball as Clark goes further. Oh, man in front's going to take a mark there, Duff. Terrific work there. I think that might be Fay. And Fay is a big chance to kick this one.
just what the game needs. 2 in a row is what they do need. We don't want to be seeing them go goal for goal.
Look at that.
Strength.
Oh, well, that's maybe Francis should have gotten the big punch there, Duff, instead of trying to go the mark.
Yeah, looking a little bit too cute at times, Francis. Just needs to sometimes, especially as defender, when you're not in the right position, just go the punch.
Just the big spoil, bring it down for the runners, because they've got plenty of them running through the centre of the ground. Have Lauderdale, but you'll learn from those sort of things, Duff.
Oh, he's put in a shocker there.
He's just, it's a set play. You can see there, he just wanted a kick there. He's just gone the short one.
One criticism of young Francis's game, looks a little bit casual at times.
Yep, nice and relaxed.
Got very relaxed, but just a little bit cas.
Yep, okay. So, Storm working away, and there was that goal kicker. That was Cameron Walder, Duff, who got that one a few minutes ago. He's very silky. I thought it was him, but I just didn't want to call it too early till I could confirm it. So it's now on the wing position. Bluey Hickey, very strong tackle.
Oh.
But have a look at young Kenny. He, as soon as he gets it, he's very low to the ground, stocky.
Yes.
But his acceleration is elite.
Yeah.
He's got the Usain Bolts about him, Duff. He's very quick.
He's very quick, and he's got very good strength in the core.
Yeah, oh, yes.
Much like his coach, Brycey Walsh.
Yeah, very similar in that one. That's just Bryce, he's just got absolute oak trees as
his
legs.
Oh.
And he's very hard to get off his feet. Very, very solid and stable. And so now the Storm.
Of course, you used to coach young Bryce back in the days. The under 8s right through, I think, Andrew.
Yes, Auskick through to when he made a senior debut there, Duff. Now, Bryce, he's an absolute credit to himself and his family and the Lauderdale Football Club.
I'll ask you this question. What's the record number of games ever played senior football down at Lauderdale, and is he a chance at his age? You'd say he's got another 10 years in him. I reckon he'll go past probably 350, 400 games, young Walshy.
Well, he could. He had a very nasty ankle injury last year, missed quite a few, but yeah, certainly he's a big chance, Duff, as Lauderdale really doing well as Connor Woolley just zoomed in on his opposition, and that was a great chase, Duff.
Yeah.
These are the sort of things that really go well. Unfortunately for Storm, they weren't probably talking to their man who had the footy as it comes out towards Hickey. And again, let's hope that the communication is a little bit better. Picking up was Walters. Walters goes back inside. Who's the man who was caught just a few moments ago. Handball because it didn't go far enough. Jonty Fay goes the handball. Oh, that one might have been a little bit in the back, I'd say. This one, Duff. He tried to pull him back, but a bit of it tripped over, and without a doubt, right in the middle of the back. And here is a chance for the Storm to have another shot on goal. I think that might be Cameron Walter. He's lining it up. What do you think his chances are, Duff?
Well, he's not that far out. We know he's a good kick.
Well, to say this is absolutely crucial that this one goes through the big sticks.
Nice kicking style.
Oh, look. Oh, it's just hit the post.
Oh, what?
Dear, dear, that was just, I thought, going to go through over the umpire's head, and it's just touched that post going through, Duff.
Just faded away.
It was a good-looking kick, wasn't it?
Yep.
Hands were really low, nice and steady, and just hit the post. Okay, so an opportunity has gone begging as that handball didn't quite come out to its intended target, but it is Lauderdale through the agency of Kenny, who gets it down towards Glenarda. Glenarda fakes to go on the outside, but comes back in, goes towards Hodoninsky, I apologise. Hodoninsky, further afield, goes back towards Oldham. Oldham, front and centre. Man there couldn't pick it up was Bumford, and it is out of bounds, and it'll be a boundary throw-in / boundary ball up, Duff.
Yep. See,
so,
this is
15 minutes in.
This is where we'd love to see the throw-in. Can it ever happen?
Absolutely.
I'll put it to you, Andrew.
You need to get a few more pairs of shorts in your truck, pass them out before the game starts, and away you go as Hodoninsky with great skill and poise to turn around there on his wrong side, Duff, and put through his third for the day. That was class, pure class. As we're going to watch here, we see the ball up, came back inside. Hodoninsky was running away from goal, turned him inside out, good pace and deft touch. And that's a clever shot on goal, isn't it, Duff?
Yeah, but not a lot of pressure there by the Storm. They just relaxed. They've been good, the defence. They've been right by the side of the Lauderdale Bombers, but that time just caught napping a little bit. And in the end, a fairly easy goal.
Yeah, very unfortunate that They really needed to be sort of very, very tight on that one, Duff. Back in the centre, Ryan Clark, who I think has done a pretty good job in the ruck, tried to give his on-ballers first use of it, but it's players like young Kenny who just keep on getting the ball, and they are so determined. As Kenny just off one step, not the greatest kick he's ever done. A little bit casual, as you said there, Duff. You've got to get back off your mark quickly so you give yourself options and go back on the 45. Gets Glenarder there. Glenarder goes further afield to Kenny. He's held a little bit too high, and the umpire's held that one up and says, go back and take your kick, son. So it is Kyle Glenarder. He dodges and evades. Goes the very short kick, but intercepting a nice mark there by Ambrose Brereton. Brereton, long, raking kick. Francis there. Might have been a little bit in the back there from Delaney. And in fact, it's a free kick going to Cameron Walter. And Walter has really offered something, Duff, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's a strapping lad. I like him down there. I think he might be on ball, is he?
He's going sort of both on ball and target on forward. The challenge is they need a few more of him, Duff, or people who are prepared to put themselves in the way he's going in for the ball. As Rawnsley, he was there trying to work hard for the Storm. He can't pick it up. Going back in again was Walter, but it's Glenarder who picks it up for Lauderdale. He doesn't get particularly far. Who's there for the Storm? No one. As a punch comes out the defensive quota. A little bit of in and under by Jonty Fay. That's a clever kick. Going down towards the full forward zone. But Francis takes a nice mark.
He makes it look easy, doesn't he?
Certainly does. That's that casual attire that you go for, but he looks terrific when he over the ball like that. A good vertical leap, hasn't he?
Yeah, no, very promising player.
Very assured, Duff. That's what he looks above his years. So, ball's back in towards the middle. Oh, Winter's gone straight over the top, but the umpire says that's play on, and it comes out towards Storm. Storm now towards the full forward area. That one's gone past Francis. They've had a snap on goal, and it's a goal there, Duff, to the Storm. Terrific work. Opportunist goal there, and nicely done by Brodie Gregory. As we see it come down here, and let's just watch this one. Just unfortunately a little bit too far for Francis, and pushed on by McQueen towards the opportunist in Brodie Gregory, and he has put that one through for a goal, Duff.
Well, they just tightened it up again. They won't go away, the Storm. 18 points. Right on three-quarter time.
Getting close towards three-quarter time, as you just said, Duff. Glenarder over the ball. But I think Sammy Voss, he didn't take possession, and he was held by Glenarder, and so it'll be Voss. Gee whiz, with only a minute to go, if he get it out into space, and that's a very good kick, and Jonty Fay hasn't let him down, and he's going to go back for a shot. Well, we have seen young Fay. He has tended to go on that inside step of his, Duff, so he's just got to make sure he gets true and big contact with this boot now. Here he goes. Keep a close eye on this kick. He's done
enough.
He has. He's put it through. Jonty Fay, and you can hear the cars are honking here at the Cygnet Oval. Duff, that has really tightened this contest up.
Certainly has.
We can see here, I like the kick. Instead of kicking to anyone, kick it to space to the advantage of the forward. And that's exactly what they did, and they reaped the reward from two inside 50s to 2 goals. And it is three-quarter time here at the Cygnet Oval, and we have got a absolute contest on here, Duff.
What would you do if you're Brycey Walsh? You've had 2 late goals kicked against you. The Storm, they won't go away. It's an interesting time of the match.
Well,
2 goals.
It certainly is. The momentum certainly goes in there, and they'll be really up and about. And it's all because of those forwards, Fay and Walter. And so, again, as we spoke about how we would like to see the defensive work for Lauderdale, well, similarly, they need to get in front of these 2 blokes, because if the Storm have done their homework, they need to get the ball moved in there quickly, Duff, and kick it to space to give those 2 forwards an opportunity to come out and duke it up.
Well, just good to see reward for effort. The Storm have just kept at it, and to get themselves down to within 2 goals, it's been a great effort now.
Okay, so that was Shaw, who got it out to one of the prime targets in Callum Dargan. That's a very tight angle from there, Duff.
He's a long way away.
He's normally a left footer, and you can see here those little shuffles. He'll go back on the side in it, crab style. There it is, a couple of steps. And it's a tight angle. It's a good looking kick, but it's still in play as the defender Travis Hickey comes in to pick that one up, and it's a forced behind.
Gets a very nice spin on his ball, doesn't he, when he kicks it?
Yep. So the Storm playing on with great intent. It comes over the back. Brereton picks it up. Oh, beautiful, clean hands. Has now put that one into a bit of pressure. Walter Francis, they go off their feet. So they're out of the contest, and both boys quick to get back up, which is good play there. Oh, it comes back towards the Storm. They were able to get that quick kick in, but backing back, taking a nice mark in the last line of defence. I think that might be Austin Hurst. Gets it out towards Francis. Francis goes the long kick, but chipping in is Denny. Denny, oh, that short pass. That's the kick they've got to get out, Duff. They've been coming back because they've gone the long kick to space, and that's the kick they've got to go. Give their forwards an opportunity.
Yeah, no, that was a disappointing result there for the Storm. What's happened here?
Yeah, really nice tackle. The intensity's lifted up that notch, and so it'll be a free kick paid to Denny. Denny goes in towards the true centre-half forward, and coming out taking a big clunking mark is Sammy Voss. Voss goes towards the deep forward position. Coming out now is Brodie Gregory. And what's happened here, Duff? I think the umpires seem to have been held without it.
Just a bit of jumper holding, I think.
Yep. And Connor Woolley will take the free kick.
Umpire in the right position there, Andrew.
So it comes out to the fast-moving Hododinsky. Further afield towards Daniel Richardson. Another quick handball. And going towards the leading forward, but intercepting that one was beautiful play by Townsend. Townsend doesn't muck around, and he gets it out towards the swift moving Brereton. Brereton further afield. Here's a big chance. Coming out is Oscar Thorpe, but you can't get the ball once you get off your feet, Duff. You're out of the contest.
No, got to keep your feet there. And doesn't just one of the Storm players, doesn't he, just winding the back of the clock for us? Ambrose Brereton looks just so much like his dad, Matty, who of course was a club legend down here at Cygnet, and I think a very, very good player with North Hobart in the TSL.
Absolutely, and young Oliver Townsend, he just streaming out from half back. I like to see them taking the game on, Duff.
No, that's very good play. There's some good young players here today, Andrew. We've been pretty impressed by the calibre of the footballer. There's a big clash there by those two.
Gone up, those two boys. I hope they're going to be all right, Duff. They seem to land awkwardly and unfortunately didn't seem to get their arms down to protect their heads. So it's going to be interesting to see how those two boys pull up. But they've got up on their... Oh no, one's still down, but it's the Storm. Excuse me. The umpire says play on. Held maybe without the ball, and that's the way the umpire has seen it, Duff. And so it'll be a free kick. I think that's going to go to Kane Walters. Just going to wave time on because they need to come across and just make sure this young fella's all right, Duff. I think that might have been young Sammy Voss. As we see here, he really went up and he hit his head. Now, that was actually Cameron Walter. It was Walter, who has been a high flyer, and he doesn't look too well. He's saying his back is in trouble here, Duff.
Yeah, he's really hurt himself here. It's not what the game needed. He's an absolute gun of a player. You never want to see anybody taken out of the game like this. It's looking like a lower back issue, I think, Andrew. I reckon they might take him straight off the ground here.
Yeah, he's
very unfortunate. He's had a good match.
Yep. They've got to get to the safety to the line, Duff, and he's just going to be taken off.
Thankfully, he's okay.
Yeah,
that'll do him for the match, I reckon.
These are some of the things that you see in our game, isn't it? The high-flying nature, and he went up, and he had no right to be that high, and unfortunately, excuse me, on his descent, Duff, unfortunately didn't have an opportunity to get his arms down to protect himself, and he went slightly towards his neck and rolled on his back. So there was no malice. It was just that's what happens sometimes in footy as the ball is kicked, and it only goes as far as Woolley, and it picks it up towards Kenny. And well played by Lovell. Lovell kicks it around on his left side.
He's had a good game,
Lovell. Well picked up there by Hardy. Hardy is beset upon by defenders, and nice work there by Lauderdale. It's 5 minutes gone in the last quarter, 31-44. It's really tight, so they're looking hard. I think Lovell has been pinged without the ball. As you can see here, he took possession. He was very clever there, Duff, to get the handball out. So Lovell goes the short kick, but the Dukes couldn't pull that one in, unfortunately. Comes back further afield to Innes. Innes is making some impressions on the game. Comes up towards Francis. Doesn't go with the two hands, but he's good enough to butter up and go again. Comes out towards Cohen now. Cohen, can they take a mark? Oh, Woolley was very good defensive work. He was so determined there, wasn't he, to spoil that ball, Duff?
Yeah, no, that was great defence, wasn't it? Let's have a look at this again. Come in towards the big unit there. He knew he was going to be out strength, but he just got a hand to it, and then he was away.
Yeah. Really good pace. So it is Lauderdale. Throw it on the boot towards the true centre-half forward position. Nice spoil there by Ryan. Gets the handball out. Winter goes underneath the ball. He just gets rid of it very, very quickly. And Lauderdale, again, they throw that ball on the boot. It's going down towards Dargan. Dargan can't quite pick that one up and through for the minor score. So it's been very even in this quarter, Duff. No one getting real ascendancy. Just maybe a couple of times that the ball has dropped out of the hands that it could have gone anyone's game.
We haven't seen a goal yet. We're nearly 7 minutes in. Battle of the backlines at the moment. Pressure's been there.
Nice play there by Rawnsley. He evaded one tackler, got it back to the handball to his advantage. Comes out towards Kane Walters. True wing position. Hickey's there. But the vagaries of that oval ball bouncing one way or the other as Francis gets the handball back to the man who has a bit more space. It was Kane Walters who came in over the top, coming out, and that's a really good tackle as Fergus Kenny, he's normally very, very quick, Duff, but that was fantastic work there by the Storm. Unfortunately, they've gone back in ball a little bit too early, and Shaw has picked that one off, and now they're driving that ball down towards their full forward area. Running towards it is Oldham, can't pick it up. Further afield comes French, who got a goal in that first quarter. But the back line has been fantastic, Duff, for the Storm.
The back line of the Storm has kept them in the game. But just those crucial turnovers. Sorry to be repeating myself, but just coming out of the back line. That's something they need to work on at training as he just gets a handball away there.
Wow, that was Campbell Newman. He was beset upon by the defenders there. I was probably a little bit unlucky, the Storm, maybe not to get a kick there, Duff.
I don't know. I like that umpiring, though, Andrew, just to let those 50-50 ones go. See, just got the handball away, play it on. Good umpiring.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Just say a little bit lucky. But
unlike in the AFL at the moment, Andrew. They whistle all night. Oh.
Okay, so the ball comes loose. It's Newman who picks it up. Newman drives it down towards a very dangerous area, but the Storm are standing tall. Comes out towards Lovell. Lovell has been tackled, so he decides to just get that ball forward. Brilliant pickup there by the Storm. I think that was excellent work by Cohen.
Yep.
Now it comes further towards Lauderdale, and this is not the area that the Storm need the ball in as Lovell picks it up, but the boundary line has been the victor in that contest, and there'll be another ball up.
Here it is.
Gee, that was good play, Duff.
Yeah, they're just very determined, aren't they?
So,
see this moment
is,
here coming up.
Nearly 8 minutes gone in this last quarter. Very, very interesting match. Oh no, you don't want the ball in that man's hands if you are a Storm supporter. And Luke Hodononsky has put that one through for his 4th goal, and he has been a very, very damaging player for the Lauderdale Football Club today, Duff.
Yeah, that was just class, wasn't it? Kept the hands high, put it on the left. Looks like he's probably a natural right footer. Threw it on, but knew what he was doing, and that's just the goal they needed.
Well, 2 of his goals, Duff, have been on his wrong side. So, and I know one of the things that you like, or the 2 things that you talk about, Duff, are boundary umpires and kiddies going onto their wrong side of their body. And that gave Hodononsky the opportunity to score those 2 goals.
Well, he's put it on the left rather than doing the banana kick, and the chances of him scoring the goal there are probably higher. So
absolutely, Duff. So he comes from the Martin Duffy School of Footy that works on both sides of the body. As we can see now, the ball is back live as the Storm are into attack. Here's what's happened here. We've just, now it's come down. Excellent work now as they evade that ball. Goes in, and the Storm have picked that one up. Had a bit of a shot on goal, I think, and through for the minor score. So a bit of a problem here, Duff. We've got the replay there on the screen.
Sorry,
but now it's all fixed. Just a technical hitch. And, that was only because we were very lucky that spare part coming from Huon Delivery Service, our technician has finally installed it, and we are up, back and running. So thank you to the Huon Delivery Service.
We're back live, Andrew. Back live.
Which is great. And, of course, if it wasn't for the Bendigo Bank, Duff, allowing us to have the money to do these things, where we thank the Bendigo Bank as well.
Yeah, and all our wonderful sponsors, of course, Duff TV sponsors, JMC and Mood Food and Bennett's Petroleum.
Okay, so the ball comes in. That was a fantastic kick that couldn't get on the end of it. Was Hodoninsky there from Kenny's kick. Comes out towards the half-back flank, flying high. There's been some ripping efforts there as Lovell goes in hard over the ball. It was Bumford who tries to pick it up, but Lovell was having none of that as it comes out towards Walters. He gets the handball further afield, but it looks like it is Lauderdale through the agency of Campbell Newman trying to get that ball forward. Another handball comes out towards Hickey, further on then towards Ryan Clark. It's Kenny who gets that ball. It is close in there. It is tough in there. This is Australian rules footy, and it is a great game down here at the Cygnet Oval, Duff.
Yeah, this has just been great, hasn't it? Players going really hard. And again, I'll give the umpires a rap, just letting the play go. They could have probably picked out a couple of free kicks there, but they let it go. Whistle out of the mouth. Well done, the umps, and here goes the Storm.
Oh, great mark there by Jonty Fay, and he played on quickly. They're going back over hard to try and get that one. At the bottom of the pack, fighting hard is young Francis.
This is what I mean, Andrew. Just look at this. Now, some umpires, they blow the whistle here. There's a possible free kick to Lauderdale, and maybe another one, but play it on. That's what I say.
And play it on they did, as working their way out of that one was Kilpatrick. And I like Kilpatrick probably down forward, Duff. He creates another option, but time is running out for the Storm. They need to get it in very, very quickly, as Brereton is there, but it's kicked off the ground by Lauderdale, picking it up and going through the centre of the ground, showing a clean pair of heels. That particular time is Bumford. He gets it further afield out towards Hodononsky, who we know is a goal kicker, gets it quickly onto his foot and has slotted that one through for another goal. That is his fifth, and he has been a big difference between these two teams today, Duff.
Yeah, just a real, well, I think the sting's gone out of the match now, Andrew.
Yeah, with 13 minutes gone, that just might have been the sealer as...
just came over the back, didn't it?
Yep. As they say, you just kick to the advantage of where the forward's running, and Luke Hodononsky was good enough to pick that ball up and very cleverly went the check side, Duff.
Well, it's almost like he had a smile on his face before he kicked that one, because he knew he was just going to be able to do it. Just needed to get the ball on the toe, and he did it very well, the young fella.
I tell you what, Duff, he could almost have got a second kick as he was pushed through the goals after kicking. In the AFL parlours, sometimes they frown on that. I think that was probably just almost within the play. So it is now a free kick against Tate Winter, as he didn't dispose of the ball of correctly, and the Storm rushed that ball forward as quickly as they came, as it comes out towards Voss. Voss now, lovely looking kick. They've got the numbers, but it's a bit of a falcon that might have hit him in the hooter, Duff, I think. Did he get a push there, was young Jackie McQueen? I think he has, and McQueen's going to go back and have a shot on goal. You can see, I think it's just hit him in the right eye. It's just off the bounce off there, and he's going to have a shot on goal. Be right on his distance here, Duff, I would have thought.
Yeah, right on his distance. He's only a little fella. Comes in.
Okay, McQueen. And doesn't quite, you can see there, Francis has learnt from his mistakes. Mistake on the last one where he really did a great... Look at that punch, Duff.
Yeah.
Excellent punch by Francis.
That's the authority we need from young Francis.
Yep. If he wasn't in the position to mark the ball...
The word got down to him that I said he's a little bit casual.
Oh,
and he's just looking a little bit more intense now. That's the sort of the way I like to see him go about his footy.
So Kenny gets the handball over the top towards a leading French. He can't bring that one up, as Lovell will, when we know he'll go straight. Lovell gets it out towards Voss. He's had a cracker game.
And Voss. And this boy.
It's the same old numbers, isn't it, Duff? It comes towards Jonty Fay. They need a mark. Comes over the back. Comes towards Rawnsley. Now he's got a bit of a handle on it. He goes back to try and get that kick. He can't do so. Good effort by Donohoe. Comes now and clearing is Lauderdale on the last line of defence. But backing back, taking a mark, and it's going to come back now as Denny goes short, and taking the mark, leading out is Sam Voss.
Well, they won't go away. What's he done here? I think he might have some cramp. Oh,
yeah.
He's down.
Well, he's run hard all day, Duff. He says, just give me a bit of an effort. Is he trying to pull him off the ground or actually fix that cramp?
We know Anzac Day was just the other day, and he's down like a wounded soldier.
Certainly is. Okay,
I think he's got a bit of the cramp there, Andrew.
Hope it's not the gout.
Oh, not at this age. Surely not.
It's the cramp, not the gout. Because if you get the gout, you'll know all about it, though. Okay, so Lovell comes in to take the kick. He's a pretty long kicker, young Lovell. I'll tell you what, he's kicked that a long way, and it's touched just on the line.
Oh, umpire, where's the theatre?
So, Francis takes the kick.
Could have given that one a goal, surely. Must have been very
Come
close.
on, Duff, you give goals when they're goals. If they're touched, well, that's the way it is. But how about this? Excellent work there by young Kilpatrick. Gets it back. Francis, the man who was playing on him, he was good enough to double back and make the spoil. Goes out towards Woolley and finds his man in Winter. Winter goes wide, finding Dargan. Dargan just stopping and slowing the play down because time is the enemy now of the Storm.
Oh, they've done enough now. This is good by the Lauderdale Bombers.
So it is Connor French who takes the mark. French gets it further afield, but we know that Lovell will push hard. Kenny's there. That man, if he gets it close to the ground, Kenny goes, I thought he was going to go to the check side, but he's seen Oldham is loose, and Oldham goes there and pushes that one through for goal. How about that, Duff? I thought he was going to go back and get it. He just swung around. He said, I'll have a bit of that, thanks very much, and has slotted it through for his second goal.
Yeah, good play, wasn't it?
Kenny, you knew that anywhere in this man's vicinity, he is going to take off in a hurry. Came out towards the leading player in Oldham, and look at that, just casual as you like, went back and all clear for the 6 points.
I think it's all in the shorts, isn't it? Look at those shorts, Eddie Betts.
It is the Eddie Betts. I like the longer short, Duff.
Yeah.
I like the short gusset and your long leg, other than your short. Well, they may as well, because a lot of these other kiddies have got those skins on underneath, and they could cover up those skins.
I'll tell you one thing I think that's making a comeback, and that's the black boots.
Yep. In this game, there's been a few more of your black boot. Yeah, I'm with you. I like your black boot.
Now, Andrew, I'll start to get you to think about your 3, 2 and 1s. We'll get that after the match, but just start to get that some thought, Andrew. There's been some good playmakers out there, and all 3 votes for me. It's got to be to this boy, that's for sure.
Well, Francis has been good.
Yeah, we just had a little breaking play there, but Francis, I think, definitely been one of the better players on the field, and here he goes again.
Yeah, so that was Harvey, and I've liked Harvey's work down back as well. It's picked up, and Ryan Clark has a shot towards the goal, but this time he has just moved it to the side there, Duff, and through for the minor score. So 18 and a half minutes gone here in the last quarter at Cygnet. Oh, no, that's all go. It's all finished, Duff. That's the siren. And it's been a really high-class game. As we look at the goal kickers for Lauderdale, it is Hod Aninsky. He's got the handful, Duff. He's kicked 5. Oldham's got 2. Dargan's got 1, and French has got 1. As we can see, 9-9-63 to 4-9-33. And for the 4 goals for the Southern Storm, it is Jonty Fay who's got 2, Duff. Cameron Walder 1, and Brodie Gregory with that opportunist goal.
I thought the better players for the Storm. I like the game of Brereton. I like young Eric Lovell down on the back line. Denny, Walters, Hardy had a good match. Rawnsley, as we know, Sammy Voss had a great game. Travis Hickey, I had a little dig at him, but I tell you what, he's not a bad little footballer. And young Innes, I thought, had a solid match for Southern Storm.
Yeah, they certainly did. You picked them in one, but the 3, 2 and 1 today's, Duff. The 3 votes for my liking went to Fergus Kenny. I thought he was terrific down there, Duff. He was a prime mover in the centre. I know there's going to be somewhat it's very hard to pick him in a way, Duff, you know, because you've got Hodaninsky with your 5 goals and Francis stopped many. Jonty Fay was just terrific, wasn't he, for the losers? But I'm going to have to go to Hodaninsky with your 2. And then for your 1, Duff, you've got your Francis and your Fay. Well, you think you're going to have to give something for the runner-up, and it is Jonty Fay with the 1 vote. But ladies and gentlemen, we hope you've enjoyed the coverage down here at Cygnet It is Lauderdale 63, Storm 33. That's all here from Duff TV.